Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you now. And, whoops, sorry. And I'm going to take you on over to Google Classroom, and I want to show you where you can find your grades. So let me share my screen with you. And I know in this class, we've actually had trouble before with you seeing what I actually want you to see. So if you see an issue or you don't see Google Classroom, just unmute and let me know.
You don't see anything.
I haven't shared yet. I'm going to share in just 1 second. Okay. Okay, so right now I'm going to open up Google Classroom and I'm going to show you where you can find your grades. So I've graded everything in social studies up until this point. So right now you should see, I'm going to screen share with you right now. So you should see my version of Google Classroom. And so it's the purple social studies 6th grade class. Faisal, do you see that? I know you unmuted a second ago.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, good. Okay, guys, so what I'd like you to do is to go to the class work section. And this is actually this week's assignments. We're not going to do that yet. Go ahead and scroll down to last week's assignments. Excuse me. And then you can also actually look here. But all of these lessons have been graded and entered into Otis. Now, I want to show you that I sometimes, like for the Australopithecus quiz, I don't think it'll actually, there's a couple of you guys who haven't taken it yet. And then it looks like some kids turned it in. Or, you know what, I think some of you are getting confused when I return an assignment. It's just like passing out a piece of paper. So if you had a test in class, when I give you that test back, that's what a returned assignment means. It doesn't mean anything negative because some of you guys were returning, then giving it right back to me. You don't need to do that. So you guys, I would like you to take a look. Go ahead and open up your Australopithecus quiz and look at your score. I would like you to check out your Homo habilis article with the questions attached and see your grade. And then I would like you to also take a look at your Australopithecus page that you guys did for your project, as well as your Homo habilis page. Now, I can't put grades in there because it's just one assignment and I'm making it 5. Each page will be worth a separate grade. So look in the private comments and that is where you will find your grade, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Now, if you don't understand something, if you can't find something, if it doesn't make sense, now is a good time to go ahead and put your hand up in the chat and I will help you. But please take a look at each and every one of those assignments so you can see what grade you earned. Okay, Lucas, thank you for putting your hand in the chat.
Were we supposed to turn in the template, the early human template?
You were, and even if you didn't, I still graded it. So a lot of you forgot to hit submit, and I figured that's okay. It's no big deal. I graded all of them anyway, so you weren't docked a grade. Nothing was taken away from you if you forgot to submit it, okay? Everybody is safe for that. I'll always just do that. If you forget to submit something, I'll still grade it because I figured even if you're not finished, it's better to get some points than none. So go ahead and take a look at those. And like I said, those grades will be in the comments section. So far, I've graded just the Australopithecus and Homo habilis. Any other questions about grades or where to find them or assignments? Okay, my other class had so many questions, I had to cut them off. So I'm just giving you a little bit more time because I feel like you probably might have some questions. And if you do, other people do as well. Aiden, go ahead, you can unmute.
So I'm looking at it, and it doesn't show for the Homo habilis checklist. It doesn't say anything.
Okay, but does it have, okay, it's probably graded then. What number? Just look at the number that you
No,
got.
it doesn't have a number. All it says is 100 points.
That's what you
There's
got then. That means you got 100. It's Google Classroom doesn't line up with Otis perfectly, so that would be a consistently. So when you
Yeah,
go to,
but I looked at another one and it said slash 100 points, and it's how many I got.
which one was it? Was it Australopithecus or was it?
Homo habilis checklist.
I graded those last night, so I don't know. I'll write that down and I'll come see you in a chat, in the breakout room. I mean, 1 second, I'll put Aiden down. If anyone has questions that you would like me to help you with privately, meaning you don't want to air it to the whole class, you can also put your hand in the chat and I'll come see you in a breakout room if we have time, and we should. Faisal?
I went to the early humans project template, and then you said Australopithecus 80 or something, and then you said Homo habilis 80, and then what does the 80 mean?
I'm sorry, you must have been one of the first kids I graded. I stopped doing that almost right away. I think I did that with 3 kids. So that would be a consistent. You have to have an 80 or higher. So that doesn't even make sense. It's consistent. So don't even worry about that 80. I'm so sorry. I'll go back and erase that. Let me write that down
Also,
there.
what does include the information? What does section 1 mean?
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad. Okay, let's stop sharing for a minute. I'm going to show you guys. A lot of you are not putting any information into section 1. And section 1 is that name with pictures. And it's not a name with pictures. It's the name of the Homo habilis. So, sorry, not the Homo habilis. It's the name of the early human. So on that first box for Australopithecus, it should say Australopithecus. And then on the first box for the next early human, it should say Homo habilis. Now, this new one, which we're going to do today, or we're going to start, it should say Homo erectus. So the first box, a lot of you guys are just putting 2 pictures in there. Let me show you what you're supposed to have, because that's really important to know. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now, and you're going to see the checklist for Homo habilis. So let's go down here. Nope, that's the quiz. Homo erectus checklist, Homo habilis checklist. So I'm just going to pull that open. And this is basically everything that you need to include in order to get a consistent. So this is just the presentation. This is what you should do in every single box, okay? So every single box needs to be in your own words. It needs to be complete sentences. It needs to be bulleted, spelled correctly, etc. Now this is the first box, name with picture. So it's going to say Homo habilis. And here's how you get credit for it. You need to have a comparison of the brain size to us. You need to have a comparison of the height. So you would just put the height. You can put the height of Homo habilis, the female height, the male height. You'd have the female weight as well as the male weight. You would need to have a picture of their skull, a picture of their skeleton, and another comparison, whatever you would like. It could be about jaws, their jaw size, the way that they walked, anything about their physical appearance. So this is the information that you have to put into section 1 of the project. So Faisal, does that make sense now?
Yeah, it does make sense, but also one more thing, the boxes were really small too, so there wasn't like too much space, so it was small space.
Yeah, Faisal, I know it's ridiculous how small it is. You just have to make the writing pretty small. I have another student in my first period class who is actually he's copying, like making a double slide. So there's 2 for each early human, and he's entering the information onto 2 slides. So he's kind of changed it up a little, so he has more room. Now that can get confusing too. That's going to be up to you if you wanted to do that. So you have like 3 sections on one slide and then 2 sections on the other, so you can write bigger. I don't mind you doing that. A lot of kids are just making the writing smaller. Okay, so any questions about your grades or anything like that, Aiden?
So I don't see where the where I put in like the Australopithecus, not Australopithecus, Homo habilis stuff. I don't see it anymore. I don't see the not the questions, but the, what is it called, where we put the early humans. Yeah, like,
The page itself, like your project?
where write it down. I don't see it for me.
What
For me,
don't, I'm sorry,
can't
what,
see
are you
it.
not seeing my comment or your work, or what are you?
No, I don't see it. I don't see like my grade or it.
You don't see it at all? Oh, it's okay. It's under, I had to move it because we're starting a new week today. So go to this week's assignments and you'll find it there. Do you see it now?
Oh,
Sorry about that, because you guys have to do Homo erectus starting today. So it's going to be under a different section. Okay, so now this is going to take, I know this is eating up a lot of our time, but it's so important that you know how you're doing. And I feel like some of you do not have any idea how you're doing because I don't see that you're checking your assignments. And that's okay. Otis can be very hard to navigate. So this is going to be way harder. Everybody needs to wake up. If you need to stand up, go ahead. If you need to get a drink of water, do that really quick. You have to be awake for this because Otis is way harder than this. And Otis is actually your actual real grades. Nothing in Google Classroom is going to be on your, those grades are not going to automatically go over to Otis. I have entered all of your grades into Otis, and that is what's going to be on your report card. So I'm transferring them, but Otis is what counts. So we're all going to right now go over to Otis. So I'm going to screen share with you again. You guys all need to go to your own Otis right now. And I'm pulling mine up right now. Mine got logged out. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me screen share with you guys again. If you don't see Otis in a second, let me know. I'm going to share right now. So this is where it actually gets kind of confusing. Okay, guys? I'm going to have one of you take over in a minute because I can only get so far. I don't have student view, but let's go ahead and head on over to our 5th period class, which is our 6th period, 6th period social science. So this is the class you're looking for. Go ahead and click on that. And you're going to head on over to the grade book. This won't show anything, so don't worry. Your grades are not going to populate. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a blank page, which this is where the confusion is. This is why Otis is so confusing to kids. I've had parents who have told me that they actually work with computers all day long and they cannot figure this out because it's just blank. So a lot of you guys have stopped here. You go to see your grades and you think, oh, my teacher has not entered anything yet. How many of you have thought that? Put your thumbs up in the chat if you think I've never entered anything because it's blank. I would really like to know just so I can kind of pass that information on. If you've ever come to look at your grades and thought, well, my teacher's just never entered anything. Okay, I'm sorry. I have been entering grades the whole time. So there's several of you guys. The problem is it doesn't like explain how to navigate anything. But what you need to do is, you see these 3 dots right here that I'm circling? You need to click on those dots. I can't open it past this because then it will share all of your grades, and I don't want to do that. I think that's not a nice thing to do. So these, you have to click on one of these. So you're going to click on grading scale, and it's going to pull up these 3 things right here, okay? It's going to pull up summative, formative, and then all of the practice work we've done. We have more practice work than anything else. So if I were you, I would click the practice work to start with. So again, you're going to come on over here to the 3 dots, click on the 3 dots, and then go on down to grading scale, and then go down to the learning behavior scale. That is where you will find most of your grades, although there are some here as well on formative. So go ahead and look at your grades right now. And then if you have any questions, you should just definitely raise your hand in the chat, okay? I'll go ahead and clear this, and then if you have any questions, you should definitely ask. We don't have a lot of time usually to go over this, but I figured it was important enough to stop what we're doing so that you could learn how to do that. Faisal? Excuse me.
Yeah, so I just clicked on the learning behavior, and it says identify key steps in a text description of a process related to history or social studies. What does that mean? How a bill becomes law? Or like
No, definitely not. Does it say that on there? Does it say how does a bill become law?
Yeah, it says how interest rates are raised or lowered.
I'm sorry to laugh. I'm sorry, that's not actually funny, but it kind of is because I'm just, I don't know. Can you tell me the number of that standard? Because I don't actually understand how that would ever have come up on.
It's ccss.ela literacy RH683.
Okay, repeat those last three numbers after ELA, please.
Okay, 6 minus 8.3.
Okay. That sounds like it's a language arts standard, which you should probably only be seeing social studies here, but they might have combined it. Let me take a look at that, okay? That sounds really weird. And it sounds like nothing that should be part of your grade. So thank you so much for asking that question. If you ever see anything weird like that, let me know. I will definitely go and fix that if I can. And I'll let you know what that is, okay? Anything else? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So here we're going to go on to your assignment now. I'm going to stop this for a minute so we can just, okay. All right, guys, if you are not on a Chromebook right now, I need you to put your hand up in the chat. If you're using like your parents' MacBook or something like that, I'm hoping you guys all have your Chromebooks because it'll just make it easier for you, way easier for you. So if you're not on a Chromebook, but you have access to one, please go ahead and log into your Chromebook because this next assignment will be much easier if you can just do it with us. So if you don't have a Chromebook, put your hand in the chat. Okay, good. Everybody has a Chromebook. That makes it easier. So I'm going to share my screen with you one more time, and then we're going to start our assignment. So follow my steps, please, so that you can get started right away. Let me go here, and I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, so you should be seeing the Google Classroom again. I'll start here since most of you will be here. Go ahead and head on over to classwork and then scroll down to this week's assignment. So this is Monday, and this is what we're going to do now. Please go ahead and don't actually start the quiz because then you can't actually come back to the screen. But go ahead and click on the Homo habilis quiz. Now you have to be logged in using your RCSD account, which all of you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Zoom will not let you in any longer if you're logging in underneath anyone else's email. So you're all good with that. Now the next thing is it's going to take you to Google Forms. So it's right here, guys. So Homo habilis quiz, you're going to click on this, and then you're going to take the quiz.
I already took the quiz.
You should not have already taken the quiz. That has to be done together as a class, and it has to be done like right now all together because it's a quiz. It's something that can go towards your grade. So you never want to take a quiz early. I just posted that this morning. So I don't even know how you would have access to it, but there's a couple of things, guys. One is you need to use complete sentences. If you do not, I am going to have you retake it tomorrow. So after school. So please make sure that you use complete sentences by restating the question and your answer. Super important. A ton of my students did not do that. And so in first period, so I want to make sure you guys do so that you don't have any extra work. I did remind them, but I didn't tell them they had to redo it. So I think that was the difference. So make sure you do that. The second part is don't say things like, I don't know. Take a guess. You might be right. You might actually know the answer and then you'll get it. So take a guess, not a wild guess, an informed guess. You've all had a lot of practice with this now, so do your best. So don't make any guesses. There's only 10 questions, and they're all directly from the article or the video that I've showed you and the discussions that we've had. So you're going to do very well. My other class, everybody got a 70 or higher, which is really good. Most kids got 90 or 100%. You guys are going to do just the same. You're going to do very well. So you're going to take that test. When you are done, my other class took 20 minutes to take it. So I'm giving you 20 minutes to take it. And then I'm going to pull you all out. If you're not finished, do not click off of your screen because it's locked. If you click off of your screen and open up another tab, it will erase your answers. And you don't want that to happen. So I'm going to put you each in individual breakout rooms, and you guys are going to take that test right now. Okay? Then we are going to come back. If you finish early, go ahead and start the Homo erectus article today. There's an audio for it. If the audio doesn't work, because sometimes that happens, just read the article yourself, and you can start answering the questions to the article. So, Eva, what are you doing when you are finished with the early human Homo habilis test?
You're going to do the Homo erectus.
Perfect. Thank you so much for listening. Let's see. Ocean, what are you doing when you're done with the Homo habilis quiz? Ocean, are you there? Ocean? Okay, so those of you who are here, this is your only time to take this. So you've got to take it right now together as a group. I'm going to have you go into your breakout rooms now. We're staying for 20 minutes. Even if you finish in 10, you're still staying over there for 20 because that's how long it took my other class. And I think that that's how long it'll take you. And then you're going to go ahead and take a 3-minute break, 4-minute break in between, then start the other article, and then we'll come together as a class, okay? So I'm sending you now, and I'm going to go ahead and pop into some of your breakout rooms to check on you guys, make sure you're doing okay. All right, so everyone, please take that test. If there's some sort of an emergency and you cannot take the test, you may ding me and I will come see you in your breakout room. Okay, I'm going to send you now. Go ahead and click on over.
Where do we go again?
Connor, don't click on, oh, okay.